So, good morning, everyone. So this is lecture number 23. Lecture number 23. E211 Analog Circuit Design. So, previously, we were talking about feedback. So, we generally are talking about only in negative feedback theory, and we make sure that in negative feedback, it's actually the things are stable, right? And we also learned that the closed loop transfer function is actually equal to a0 divided by 1 plus a0k. On top of that, we also learned that this loop gain, actually this one is the loop gain, has to be much lower, greater than 1. And we also learned that how to find out the loop gain, and we also learned that when we are keeping such kind of amplifiers, what is the input and output impedances, right? So we learn about those four classes of amplifiers. One is called voltage amplifier, one is called current amplifier, one is called trans impedance amplifier, or you can also call it trans resistance amplifier, and trans conductance amplifier. And those are separately, like this is voltage control voltage source, and this is current control current source. This is actually the current control voltage source, and this is voltage control current source, right? That's how they becomes transconductance. That's how, like, the transfer function is gm, this one is impedance, this one is volts per volt, and this one is ampere per ampere. So this is what we studied already, and we have seen how to find out the impedances, like when they are open loop. So right now, whatever the quantities we are studying are actually, for this block diagram, we have studied for A0 and K. So we have studied following things. So we know that these quantities might be, like A0 might be voltage control voltage source, or like any of the four amplifier topology, and similarly K might be any of the four topology. But how to connect them when you are connecting in a negative feedback? So that has to be very much crucial part over here, and that has to be understood very well. And on top of that, you can build up any theory. So let's go to the system where we are here. By the way, if you remember, we call this one as sense mechanism. So in sense mechanism, when you are interested in the voltage quantity, or it's a voltage feedback mechanism, so output is voltage. In that case, what you want to do, you have to sense the output and then return. Means you're sensing the output and you are feeding the to the feedback element. So this is a feedback element, and this one is feed forward element. So in that case, when you want to measure voltage, as we know from our understanding, that it has to be in the voltage is measured across some element, or it's a, you can say that you are going to keep it the position of voltmeter in shunt position when you are measuring at the output. Look at this, this is very crucial thing over here. When you are measuring voltage, you are going to take it across it. So if this is two terminal, they have to be in shunt position of the output voltage, then there is no problem. Now let's look at the mechanism where the voltage feedback mechanism there. So in this case, you can see over here that through a feedback we have kept some resistances R1 and R2, and through which we are measuring the voltage. By the way, it is across the resistance, so the output is measured across the voltage quantity. And notably, we have to make sure that R1 and R2 which we are taking, it has to be much higher than the output impedance or the output resistance of amplifier A1, right? So now moving to the next part, which is if you are interested in checking the current feedback mechanism, then in current feedback mechanism, you as you understand, it has to be in the series position. So if the output is I out and you want to measure the current, you need to keep the emitter in series. So this is what we are doing. If I out you are interested in, where so between feed forward and feedback network, you are going to keep this feedback network as an emitter in series position, where the out where one more thing, if you remember, if this is a voltage like voltage as feedback, the input impedance looking into this feedback has to be infinity. Look at this, this is very important, because you are measuring the voltage and you are feeding to the input port of the feedback network. Whereas if it is a current and if you are measuring it, your expected input impedance has to be as low as 0. Now this is another way to feedback or sense the current, and through a resistance it can be converted to voltage and then it's feedback. However, you are measuring the current first and then you are taking that one as a voltage converted one, and you are feeding to the input side. But right now we are not talking about the input side, but we are talking about the feedback mechanism, what you are measuring. So the concluding remark is, if it is a voltage, you are going to keep it across the terminal, and if it is a current, you are going to keep the emitter in series, or it has to be coming from the same path. Okay, this is already known to us, but what if we want to add two quantities at the input side? Because if you remember, the summing point is the one where this input side summing point is the one where it's V in minus Vf. So if you need that, in that case, so it might be V1 plus like it might be V in plus Vf. Sometimes it's current also. So in that case, you need to add or subtract two currents for the negative feedback. So if that is the case, I'm saying that the KVL says that for two voltages to be added, they have to be in series. So to realizing the summing point, what you can do, if this is the case, it's equal to V1 plus V2. But if you want to make it V1 minus V2, you just need to opposite the polarity. So here you can see that I want to see that V error is nothing but V in minus Vf, and that is possible by looking at the fact that these are in a separate polarity. So V in is actually equal to V plus Vf, and we can find out other things, right? So if you look at from this point to this point, it's a V in, but here there are two voltage sources are in series and having the same polarity like this one. So this becomes VE and this becomes VF. So this is, and at the same time, this point is calling it as V in also. So V in is equal to VE plus VF. So that is going to give us VE equal to V in minus VF. So you can make this, but as we are doing this, in this case, the voltage has been summed up by a fact that they are in series topology, right? And there are some of the example, like here two voltage sources are there. In the first example, it's a differential signal where the input is actually Vin minus Vf. That is what we want. Here also, like, this is a common source amplifier where the effective input is Vin minus Vf. Similarly for this one, or you can call it like this, depending on the polarity it might be. So the input is VGS, by the way. If you know that the current flowing through this one is mu n Cox by 2 W by L VGS minus VTX square. So most of the parameters are actually constant except the VGS, where VG minus VS is actually Vin minus VF or VF minus Vin. Accordingly, you can take it which one is bigger or smaller, right? So in that case, you are applying the differential difference of the input, and accordingly the current is flowing through this. If you want to convert it to actually a voltage output, then you need to uh, use the use some kind of transducer, which might be a resistance. Now there might be the next possible thing is the input is actually current. So if input is current, feedback has to be current. And if I'm interested in finding out following things, that if two currents are actually in shunt, then as per KCL, I know that if this is I, then this, because of the polarity, it has to be I1 plus I2. Here also you can see same thing over here. I in has two parameters, IE plus IF. So therefore you can say that the error current IE is equal to I in minus IF, right? So this way you can implement a current at the current summing point at the input side, and some of the examples are given in A and B. So like here, I in is divided into two parts. This transistor is asking for some current, and this particular op amp is, or the amplifier is asking for some current called IE. So I in is nothing but IE plus IF. And polarity is very important. If you want to make it negative feedback, they have to be like this, otherwise it will be positive feedback. Okay, in this case also, like through the resistance, the current flowing is IF, and IE is the current demanded by the amplifier. So the total I in is IE plus IF. Okay, so let's visit again what we were doing. There are two things. One is at feedback side, or you can say that you're measuring the output, or you're sensing it, sense output, right? So there you might have two quantities, voltage and current. So if you want to measure voltage, you keep it in shunt because it's measured across across some element, and current has to be measured across current has to be measured in series. But if you are looking at the input summing point, where we want, there are two possibilities, one is voltage and one is current. In the case of voltage, I want V minus Vf, that's the one, and this is IE minus IF, that's what I want. And while doing this, you need to keep these two voltage sources in series so that it will follow the KVL, and for this case it has to be in shunt or in parallel. Okay, and accordingly, when you are keeping the circuit in feedback, your name of the amplifier will be provided. Like if the input is voltage and the sensing output is also voltage, that particular class of the amplifier in feedback. So in feedback you might have four possibilities. So input is, so we are going to write it down from the output side. So output is voltage and input is voltage. There might be the possibility that output is again voltage but at the input side you might have current. Here you might have output as current and input as voltage, or you can say that the last one is output is current and input is also current. Note that this is in current, negative feedback topology and it's a closed loop. So we are going to remove output and input names and we are going to call it's a voltage feedback topology or voltage current feedback topology, or current voltage or current. Sometimes people drop this one also and they are saying that it's a amplifier feedback topology, means voltage both side, or current both side, or voltage current or current voltage, right? So this is going to decide the type of feedback. And some people are also calling in this in series shunt or shunt series, depending on what you are doing. In your case, like this one is going to be like, for the current at the output you need to use the series. So I'm just giving you an example. Some people are using that notation also, like this one is series, and at the input side if it is voltage you need to make it shunt. So that topology is also known as shunt series, right? And similarly you can write down other things like series shunt. This one becomes series shunt, shunt series. I made mistake maybe somewhere. It has to be series, and this has to be shunt, right? So for topology, but this is for a negative feedback. So different books are following different topology, but in general people call it voltage current voltage, and current amplifiers in negative feedback things. Okay, so now you might have to identify the type of amplifier first, and then you need to identify whether it's a negative or positive. So identifying this one as a voltage amplifier is very easy, that it's a voltage amplifier, and you need to find out the feedback, that what kind of feedback it is. So if you increase this voltage, you know that it's a common source, so source is in sync, but the drain side it's going to be negative feedback, because the gain is minus GMRO, or GMRO times, like you need to taken into account GM3 as well. But if this is decreasing, it is connected here. If this is decreasing, this also sync with that one. If this is decreasing, this part is also decreasing. If this is decreasing, look at this, after some finite time this will become in opposite direction. If this is going up, this is also going up, and on the next phase of time it becomes in down phase. So this is a negative feedback when it's going up and down. If it is a same, then it's a positive. However, if you look at this, it's a negative feedback topology. Now if you want that the current is not flowing through rest of the places, if it is only flowing through R1 and R2, you need to make sure that value has to be accordingly designed for R1 and R2. So if you don't want that the current is flowing through this part, R1 and R2 has to be designed accordingly, right? So these are the things. So these answers are like, it's a voltage amplifier, negative feedback, and when we are doing this, you can see that the input is series, or you can say that the input side is voltage, and what I'm picking up, it's also voltage, so it's voltage or voltage amplifier. But in shunt or in negative feedback, this is showing the topology which is series shunt, right? Okay, so by the way, writing which part is first is, sometimes some books are following different topology, but the easiest way is the voltage amplifier. If you're writing first part is output and second part is input, that's the best way. So I suggest that you use just voltage amplifier, or maybe accordingly you can use other topology, but series shunt series is also can be written, and you can understand that easily. Okay, second part is this one where you can see that input is here, and notably one more thing, if you want to find out when you are doing this, you need to make sure that if it is a voltage, the input impedance of the sensing part has to be very high or the infinite, and that is how this R1 and R2 are decided, by the way, right? So I'm keeping these values up to you what value has to be there, so you can design it, right? So according to the voltage law. But if it is not that one, and if you look at this, there's a V in, and if you look at the input side, so input side, it's two quantities are coming into series because the VGS is playing over role over here, and VGS where S is connected for from two resistances RF1 and RF2, and those are actually deciding factor for the input. So input is nothing but V in minus Vx. So input is voltage quantity and it's in series. Whereas if you are looking at the output side, output is also a voltage where the output is measured across the resistance, right? So if it is measured across the resistance as it was last time, it's again a voltage, and this is taken into shunt, right? So this is one thing, that the name of this amplifier in feedback, it's a voltage amplifier, or you can say that if you're starting from the output side, so it's a voltage, and you can write down here series shunt also if you wish to write down. But if you don't like this, it's okay, voltage amplifier suffice the value, no problem. But on top of that, we need to find out what kind of feedback it is. So you can always apply this theory. So if this one is increasing at the time x is 0, by the way, so this is going to get decrease because it's a common. So if it is decreasing, this is going to increase. If this is increasing, this will also increase. If this is increasing and this is increasing, both are increasing, then this has to decrease. If this is decreasing, this has to increase. This is increasing means this is increasing. So here you can see that the loop which is kept here, it's not a negative feedback, but it becomes the positive feedback loop. So such loop is going to give you oscillatory output at some point of time, and it's not so much useful, but you need to make it the negative feedback, or you can find out the same thing from other point where it becoming the negative. I came too much. Okay, so using this topology, if it is showing the same sign, you can say that it's a positive feedback, and you should stop yourself, and you need to find out the negative terminal where you can apply this input or the feedback. Now we need to apply same theory here. So at the input side, as it is very easy that input is I in, and you are feeding it with in shunt of what you are doing. So input side, it's a current. However, at the output side, what you are measuring, it's looks voltage, or it might be current also. So if you get confused in such a situation, most of the time it's very easy. But if you need to find out that, then let's assume you need to find out what is the impedance you are looking at this point. So if you're looking into this, the impedance is infinite. So if impedance is infinite, and if you look at this point, the impedance is RO2, but which is also infinite. So such topology is actually voltage to current. So this side, it's a voltage, and this side, it's a current. And if it is current at the input side, we already found out from the topology itself that it's a current, and output side, it's a voltage. So it's called voltage current feedback topology, right? And accordingly you can write down in terms of series and shunt, right? So this is done. Now we need to find out whether it's a negative feedback or positive feedback. So if this is increasing, this is decreasing, right? So if this is decreasing, this is also in terms of current, this is decreasing. Look at this. This is not the way it is happening in the previous case, because if you remember that the current flowing through this one is depending on the fact that it's mu n Cox by 2 VGS W by L VGS minus VTH whole square. So VGS is already source is connected to ground, so only gate is playing the role over here. So if gate is decreasing, the current is also decreasing, and if gate is increasing, current is increasing. So in the current amplifier which we have studied in the current mirror, so the that gain is not, that gain was voltage gain. So right now the as the voltage is decreasing, the required quantity at the input side is also decreasing, and that's how this becomes a negative feedback loop. And if this is decreasing, this becomes increasing. If this is increasing, the current is increasing, right? And accordingly you can see that this feedback loop is helping us to achieve the negative feedback, right? So you need to accordingly you need to look at the different amplifier, and you need to find out its polarity, negative or positive. So now let's look at the situation if it is a voltage amplifier where input is voltage, output is voltage, where output is shunt condition and input is series condition. So this is also known as the series input shunt feedback, right? So in that case, A0 and K are also the voltage amplifier or the voltage control voltage sources. And in that case, if the input side, this is plus V1 and this one is plus Vf, then you can write down directly V1 is equal to V in minus Vf. That was very quite easy. And writing down the most efficient part is V out is also equal to A0 times V1, and Vf is equal to K times V out. Look at these, all these polarities are positive. When you keep it that thing over here, in using these three equations, you can find out V out by V in is nothing but A0 divided by 1 plus K A0. So when you are keeping the voltage voltage amplifier in a feedback with voltage itself, then the gain is getting desensitized, or gain becomes decreased by the loop gain. So A0 by A0 by loop gain. So it's decreased by a loop gain. Now look at the other aspect where we want to measure the input impedance in a negative feedback. So then you can add the input resistance over here with A0. So this is the realistic model where this is in shunt with the infinite impedance. If you remember our previous lectures where we keep the resistance in shunt. So the realistic model says that it has to be in shunt. When you are keeping in shunt, you can find out the value accordingly, and you can see that the calculations are pretty easy, where I in Rin is equal to V in minus Vf, because that's the voltage over here developed over here. So this voltage, let's call it V1. So V1 equal to V in minus Vf, and Vf is already known to me, that nothing but I in times Rin times A0K, right? So if I need to find out Vf is nothing but whatever is getting here multiplied by K. So at this point it's nothing but A0 times V1, where V1 is nothing but I in times Rin. So I in time V in divided by Rin, I in is going to give me Rin times 1 plus A0K. So if I'm using the voltage amplifier as a topology, the input resistance will be improved by a loop gain. So that is what we want, and that is what is happening. So now let's look at the next part of part of the discussion, where it's output impedance. So in the realistic model, it has to go to in series. So R out is at the output of this one. Now I'm interested in finding out the output impedance. So in that case, I'm going to keep input voltage to 0, and at the output I'm going to apply some known potential Vx, and Vx by Ix is going to give me the output resistance. Just to find out that, the Ix is nothing but this point Vx and this point V1. So Vx minus V1 divided by R out is going to give me this whole value, right? So Vx minus V1 divided by R out is going to give me Ix. So what is V1 now? So V1 is just I0 multiplied by whatever is coming here. So here it's coming minus K times Vx. Notably, this becomes minus because it is a negative feedback, and that is being fed over here, and we can find out R out has been improved by 1 plus K A0, or you can say that the loop gain is playing again a role over here. So everywhere it's a loop gain which is playing the role. Similarly, like if you have the voltage current feedback where the output side it's a voltage and the input side it's a current, where output side it's in shunt, this is in series, this is also in shunt. So in that case we can write down V out is nothing but I in minus IF times RO, where IF is depending on the whole loop, and which is equal to K times V out times RO, and V out by V in, if you look at that, it becomes again improved by the loop gain. Similarly, if you wish, you can find out the gain, V out by I in is actually the gain over here. So gain is actually decreased by 1 plus KR0. So, sorry, this is a closed loop gain. So closed loop gain is also improved by or decreased by a loop gain when R0 is feed forward element and K is the feedback element. So KR0 is going to give you the improved version of the gain. Okay, so we were at 78. So now if it is a different topology, right, or you can say that what we have here, voltage current feedback, it's again voltage current feedback, but I'm interested in finding out the input resistance. For that you need to keep the realistic model. So if you remember, the realistic model for the current is you need to keep the resistance in series. So keeping the resistance in series and R0 here, it's a trans impedance amplifier, and in feedback there is K. So we know that IF is nothing but K times Vx by Rin times R0, right? So and Ix minus this particular current is going to give you Vx by Rin. And if you solve this, you can find out that input impedance is decreased by loop gain, and that is what we were expecting because this is a current amplifier. And applying same theory on the output side, you can see that the output resistance is getting improved by again a loop gain, and you can do this for current to voltage feedback and current feedback, and you can find out closed loop gain, input impedance, output impedance. But if you want to find out the quick things, it says that, so what I'm writing here, it's for the negative feedback configuration. If you are in voltage amplifier, you might be interested as voltage current amplifier, sometimes current voltage, and you might be interested to design in current amplifier. So depending on your application and situation, what you want. So if you look at the resistances or the impedance, you can directly write down that if you know that if it is a voltage controlled voltage source, which is the case for voltage, you want that this one is infinity and this one is 0. If it is voltage current, we want that the output is voltage, so it has to be 0, and input side it has to be infinity. Sorry, input side it has to be 0. Output is current and input is voltage. You are expecting that current at the input resistance has to be infinity, and voltage, which is the input side, you are expecting infinity. For the current, output and input both are current, so it's opposite of opposite of what we have in voltage. So as we have the bigger number is expected, we want that bigger number is good for this voltage topology. You are expecting that if your input resistance in open loop was, going to call it OL, so open loop resistance was R in OL, then in closed loop it has to be improved. So improve can be done in a way that it has to be multiplied with some number, which is actually always a loop gain, where A0 is nothing but has a unit of volts. So volts. In this case, if I want to decrease the overall resistance, I need to make sure that it's getting divided with the loop gain, right? So that it will give you a better out. Similarly, in this case, if you need 0, but here current to, it's a voltage to current, so it's a trans impedance amplifier. So your, first of all, your feed forward element is not going to be equal to A0, but it's going to be equal to R0, where R0 is a resistance. So if it is 0, you want that R in open loop is getting decreased by 1 plus R0 times K, where R0 is your output resistance. Sorry, it's a feed forward element. Similarly, I want 0 output here, means it has to be, so whatever the output resistance you had in open loop, you want that it has to be divided by loop gain. To make it infinity, it has to be multiplied by a loop gain for a given topology, and it's current to voltage. So it's actually feed forward element is transconductance. So this has to be 1 plus GMK, and for this one also it has to be R out OL times 1 plus GMK. In this case, I want to have it 0. So 0 is only possible when I divide it, and let's call it AI times K, where the unit of AI is nothing but ampere per ampere. And for this one, it's going to be equal to multiplied by 1 plus AIK. Notably, these are the resistances, but if you are interested in finding out the gain as well, gain is decreased by nothing but, so let's call it closed loop gain, and so open loop gain in this case is A0, in this case it's R0, in this case it's GM, and in this case it's AI. So if I want to find out the closed loop gain, the closed loop gain is very easy, that whatever the open loop gain you have, it will be divided by a loop gain. In this case also it will be divided by loop gain, but loop gain is nothing but 1 plus R0K. In this case it's GM divided by 1 plus GMK, and this one is AI divided by 1 plus AIK. So every time gain is getting decreased by a loop gain, and it's give you gain desensitized like topology. And in the case of R in and out, it's depending on whether you want infinity or 0. If you need infinity, it has to be multiplied by a loop gain, and if you want the output resistance as low as 0, then you need to divide it, right? So that's how, like, we are closing this like this chapter feedback. Maybe we can learn few more things in next chapter. Thank you very much.